everyone, and now we are going to work on Lesson 5A. This is the first half of Lesson 5. So I've already got Visual Studio opened up, and I've got it ready with my text editor to enter the information. As usual, we have all the title information, your name and date, everything at the top. We have our include statements here in the next line of things, and then we have using namespaces. Let me back that up a little so you can see it. Okay, using namespace std, all those go before our main function or function main. All right, so here's our curly brace, which starts and ends our program, and we'll look at that later at the ending. But right now, what we are doing in Lesson 5 is we're kind of reviewing the idea of using getline, but we're also introducing the idea of creating menus for users to answer questions and to pick and choose things from the screen. All right, so this is just an introductory. There'll be more things on menus as we go through the course. This one is a restaurant. We're going to create a restaurant menu program. Here's our variables that we know we need. We're going to need a server name, that's like the waiter or waitress. The server's ID, always, companies have their own special IDs for people. The customer's table location, we just call it table location. The drink name, and then we put the data type with each one. So notice this is a string, server ID is a string, table location's a string, the drink name's a string, the drink price. Well, that's money, that's financial. You're probably going to add up different prices of things to get a total, right? So you want to be able to do mathematics. So let's make it a double, since money usually comes with a fractional value, a decimal point. Then we have appetizer name, a string, appetizer price, a double, the entree name, which is a string, entree price, a double, dessert name, which is a string, and dessert price, which is a double. Then we are going to need some kind of subtotal to total things as people choose what they want. Then we're going to have to add some tax and then get the final total, which we called total for a variable, and then the tip. So what we need to do is to determine the subtotal, figure the tax. We're going to use 10% for easy math for the tax, and then the final total. And you need to get the tip, get the payment made, and give change. But right now, I want to show you how to get started. So first, we're going to declare our variables, right? This was just comments. This is not in any kind of coding. This is for a human to read. But down here, now we're actually declaring the variables. So I'm going to have a string, and we're going to call server name, and use the camel case method where you have a capital letter in the middle where it looks like a camel's hump, right? Camel case. All right, so we have server name, server ID, and table location. We called it tab lock. You might call it something totally different. That's okay, as long as you meet the rules for naming variables, right? You have to follow the rules. We have some more strings. We have the app name or the appetizer's name, the drink name, the dessert name, and the entree name. And then we have some doubles. Appetizer's price, the drink's price, dessert price, and entree price. And some more doubles. The subtotal is going to be a double. Our tax is a double. It's 10%, and when you move the decimal to the left 2 places, because percent was per 100, right? 100 is 2 decimal places. So we moved it over. That's 0.10 is 10% tax, total, and tip. All right, so then we want to prompt the input from the users. We want users to type in the answers to our questions. So first we're going to ask, enter the waiter or waitress's full name. That's the prompt. That'll pop up on the screen, and then whoever's entering it will enter their full name. And notice I use getline because George Smith, that would have a space between George and Smith, and I need the space there, so that will hold that. Now I don't have an ignore, cn ignore, because I don't have a cn before this. Therefore, I don't need that ignore. CN comes with a new line character, and since I don't have a CN being used before, it's not going to be there. That new line character is not going to be there. I don't have to worry about it this time. If I use it again, I'll have to worry about it if I have CN before I use getline again. Next is enter server ID. That's the prompt for the user to enter the ID of the server or the waiter or waitress. And then here's our variable that holds that server ID. We use CN, server ID, that holds their ID. Now, here's what we're going to do at this point. You create the rest of the prompts for the user to input into your program. Look at the list of things we need to know, and then create your prompts to have users input, and then create your CN or getline statements to hold their responses. For this to be helpful to you, you need to try this on your own. Then watch Lesson 5B for a possible solution. I say possible because everyone's program might be a little different. You might use different variables. You might use a little bit different logic, put things in a different order, but it should be fairly similar. So get that done, practice, try to do it on your own, and then watch the second half, which is not available just yet.